One. Hey, what's up, guys? CR Booker here, and I'm joined once again by my best friend in the whole wide world.
You know who it is, man. No introductions needed.
And this is not a 2K video. We haven't uploaded in a while. Um, you know, I'm not gonna make any excuses. Just it's a combination of things why we haven't uploaded and just laziness. But we want to get the channel back on track, and what other way to do this than to give our thoughts about not only John Cena's last match, but John Cena's career and what John Cena meant to us as wrestling fans. Even though we uploaded quite a few gameplay videos on this channel, one thing that I think is missing, which I do want to do, is like just reviews and talking about professional wrestling, because professional wrestling is huge to both of us. Obviously, we wouldn't be doing this channel otherwise, and a huge reason of why I stayed entertained in pro wrestling is John Cena in WWE in sports entertainment, and John Cena means a lot for me. I think the same goes for AJ.
Yeah. When I started watching wrestling, it was 2013. I started when I was like 14 years old. I didn't start when I was really young. And I'm pretty sure John Cena was the champion at the time, and so that's why John Cena has always meant a lot to me as far as professional wrestling goes.
Same. I started wrestling younger than AJ. I started around '06, '06 to basically now, which I've also been on and off with wrestling. So I basically been there since the start of Cena's career. Super Cena, all that stuff, the comedy stuff, everything in between. His feud with AJ Styles, I think that's probably my favorite modern feud of Cena's. Um, we beat John Cena up, all that stuff. I've seen everything up until now, and say what you want about John Cena. One thing that I really hate, a lot of people, especially toward the end, try to come to question about his reign, and like his reign, his career as a professional wrestler, saying, "Oh, Cena was never, that good." Like even though he's been wrestling for so long, like so many of those periods were droughts. Wrestling goes up and down. Like right now, wrestling's in a drought. Like I will say this, particularly WWE. From what I've been seeing about AEW, AEW is doing really good. I think AEW is going to pick up some steam, but WWE's been in a drought. That's been WWE in a nutshell. There's years where it's up, there's years where it's down. We've been through the dark ages. Let's be honest. So the fact that Cena was still a draw throughout the good and the bad speaks to the caliber of performer he is. He is the GOAT. Like good or bad, he was still a top guy, and people still paid to see him, win or lose, no matter what. How they felt about John Cena, he always got a reaction out of the crowd.
Yeah, and honestly, I hate it because it's like people will think, oh, because he gets booed, people don't want to see him. No, no, no. It's not that people don't want to see him. They just want to hate on him. But that's what we do as professional wrestlers. We're a crowd. We're part of the show. We're probably the biggest part of the show because how we react determines a lot of things in professional wrestling as a whole. But like as John Cena said, as Roman has said in the past, whether you love him, whether you hate him, you guys react to him. We react to him, and that means the most.
Yep. I mean, that's the reason why I think things will turn around for Carmelo Hayes, because he's getting reactions right now. Which I know a lot of people bring up LA Knight, because LA Knight was getting reactions, and things hasn't been going in the way that a lot of fans have hoped. But I think WWE makes a lot of questionable decisions, but I think they know sometimes when there's a lot of times they don't know when they have something good. But I think I still believe in the Carmelo Hayes system. I think Carmelo Hayes will be done justice. Hopefully, I could be just having hopeful optimism. But I believe Carmelo Hayes will level up, and I actually like him in the role of being a babyface. I think there's more things they can do to make him more interesting as a good guy, but I think he's doing cool in that role. We need more baby faces, especially because the biggest baby face is out of the company, which leads into the final match. Which for the big final match, I wanted to. We watched the whole show, watched the whole Saturday main event. I try to get as many people as humanly possible, friends who either know John Cena, which is pretty much everyone, friends who know wrestling, friends like even friends who I know aren't into wrestling like that. I still told them about. I told my mom about it. My mom used to be a big wrestling fan. She's not into it anymore. You know, Rock, Stone Cold, that was her era, Attitude Era stuff. But even she knows John Cena. Even she cared about the final match. So I try to get as many people on board to talk about it. You know, because this is a big event. I want to watch it live. Um, uh, Before we get to the final main event, I think we should just break down the show. Just talk about the show. The Saturday Night Main Event show, Washington D.C. I wanted to go. I don't live far from the stadium, but uh, financial obligations. I'll be honest, those prices, you know. And I could see if it was a thing like, oh, just because John Cena's in an normal match, like WWE's prices in general this year has been outrageous. You know, you got to pay a mortgage to go watch a wrestling show. I don't. I think that's a stretch. You know, but I wish, you know, if things were different, I could have gone. You know, but I'm still glad I got to watch it live with my friends. You know.
Um, it's funny. I actually missed the match. I think I,
Yeah,
I told you. Yeah,
yeah,
I
he
actually
did
missed
miss
the
the
match.
match, and I was so sad because I think he said he watched the highlights, so he's caught up. He knows the results and everything. But I wish I wish you had to see. But you saw the rest of the show. You saw the rest of the show, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so let's break down match by match. Match one, uh, Cody Rhodes versus Oba Fenby. Personal opinion, the match was okay. I feel like they didn't really. I feel like it could have been a lot better. I feel like they didn't really get it going in the match, and then I had a feeling it was gonna be a clean like finish because you know if I mean you don't want Oba to lose to Cody even though that's the W champion, that's the best guy in the company, so it's not like he's losing to a scrub. And like even though it would be interesting, I feel like it'd be crazy if the NXT champion pinned the W champion clean. So I knew there's gonna be some finish, but like Drew just comes out and beat up Cody, and then Cody and Oba just jump Drew, and that's it. And you know, obviously Cody pays him respect. What did you think of the match?
I think. And actually, now that I think about it, this is my problem with all the Saturday Night Main Event shows, except for like the first two, right? It feels like because they know it's a Saturday Night Main Event show, they don't put as much effort into these matches. Like, we know how good Cody Rhodes is. We know how good Obafemi is for his age and time that he's been in WWE, right?
Yep.
So the fact that they put on the performance that they did that night, and then for the match to end in disqualification the way that it did, I'm a little upset.
Me too. It was a really lackluster match. It was not a great opener. Like I said, it's not even because the guys are bad performers. And I think you're right. They put no effort into this match. It really feels like that. It really does. It was just like especially because it was gonna end in DQ. It was like Drew's gonna beat us up anyway. So well, he just beat up Cody. He was gonna beat up Cody anyway. So you know, might as well. But like, I don't know. They could have made this a great. I feel like this is it because the whole point of this show, Cena went to show the next generation, the future, that WWE was in good hands. If this was the showcase Obafemi to the main roster, I think this failed. That sounds kind of brutal, but because like what do we get? We got his entrance. He's cool, and he had like a mediocre match with Cody, and then he got DQ. It's like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you could have showed us more about him. I guess they showed him manhandling the champion. I guess for a bit. That I don't know. This wasn't the best open.
Yeah, and I just feel like, they didn't perform to the best of their abilities, especially Cody.
Yeah, Cody's been phoning it in a lot. The most recent Cody match, like even his matches with Drew weren't even anything crazy. I think the most recent Cody match where like I was fully enthralled in was who was it? It was fucking the Cena match at SummerSlam. Yeah,
Yeah,
in my opinion, I'm thinking about it. I think that was it. Like, that's where he put the most. And Cody's really good, and I hate that people say Cody's boring, Cody's this, Cody's that. I think Cody's really good. It's just, I don't know, man.
I do. This lack of challengers.
Yeah, SmackDown needs some new challengers, and this is gonna lead to another thing. We could talk about this in another video, but like, it's just like this is gonna lead to like NXT and call ups and how certain people like Tony D going back to NXT. Like, why was he not called up? There's a bunch of people who I'm like, why are they not called up? What are they doing here? Like, I don't know. That's another discussion. Let's go to the next match. The next match was Sol Ruka versus Bayley, right?
Yep.
I loved this match. genuinely, I love this match, and I think Ruka winning was the right decision. I think it was a nice upset. Bailey is probably one of the most selfless performers ever. She's always willing to put someone over, even when she doesn't have to. But like, I'm glad she did this for Soul Ruka.
Yeah, she's the only main roster person who went against the NXT star that night that actually lost.
Yeah.
Kind of speaks to who she is and what she would do for the next generation.
I'm I'm actually it was a good match. I really enjoyed the match. Cool soul snatch at the end. Then we got a little like what was it? A little roll up. Then she switched it up on Bailey. That was cool. And then they celebrate together, Zarya and her and Lyra. I guess Bailey and Lyra is now a tag team. Because last time when I was watching Raw, like she didn't want anything to do with Lyra, or Lyra didn't want anything to do with her. It was weird. And then now they're a team again. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
This whole thing, yeah. Here's the thing: just because two people argue doesn't mean. Here's the thing with storytelling. People are like, oh, like for example, people are like, oh, Bronson Reed working with Seth is stupid. I'm like, well, it's the classic. If I can't beat him, you join him, right? My issue is just like, it's not even the fact he joined Seth. It's just like how it happened. I feel like if they explored it a bit, or like Seth was trying to recruit him and then he joined, or something, it would have been cooler. You know what I mean? But it's like we seen like I feel like people act like they don't read a book in their life. Like we've seen stories where villains join the heroes. It's not far fetched. Like I don't know, you know, it's happened all the time, But yeah, that was a good match, really good match. Um, Talented, athletic, technically sound. Soruka is very high energy. I love the way she was escaping a lot of Bailey's moves using her athleticism. Very great match. That's probably one of the few matches I would unironically probably rewatch. It was really good. Another match that was really good, but I felt like it was short. I don't know if you agree with that. I thought it was really short. The tag match, Leon Slater and Javon Evans, which I love this tag team so much. I hope they become a real tag team, win tag titles and stuff like that. Really, I like these two together. I like the match they have together. I like them tagging together. I just feel like they go well together. Um, Great to see two young brothers coming up in professional wrestling. Leon Slater, the X Division champion, doing his thing on TNA, and Javon's been everywhere. He's been on NXT, the main roster TNA. They really love Javon Evans. They've been using him everywhere, and I appreciate it. He's a great talent. He's a great talent. I can't wait for him to go to the main roster. Like he's one of the few guys where if he doesn't spend too much time in NXT, he's been in NXT for a while, but you know what I'm saying? If he doesn't like win an NXT title, if he just goes to the main roster, I personally wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know how you feel about that, but I wouldn't be.
I mean, it depends, right? Because it's like they've had like so many matches for championships just to not win them, and it's like I want to see him be NXT champion. You know what I mean? Like how many
Right.
times has he challenged over Femi specifically? Like
I think
I need to see Javon Evans as NXT champion.
I think the best thing they could have done was let him fight Oba at New Year's Evil, but they wanted to do something bigger and must be living on a rock or something. But yeah, I think the match was short. With Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. Well, funny enough, what do we? They don't even have a tag name yet. If they're gonna, be a permanent. Well, I say permanent, but if they're gonna be a long-term tag. Some people, I've heard people call them Phenomenal Dragons. I heard people call them AJ Lee, which is funny. Uh,
That's
uh, what was it? Dragon Styles, all sorts of combos. I don't know. But like, I liked the match. It was just really fast. You know what I mean? I thought it was a quick match.
yeah. I knew it was gonna be a quick match with how it started. I can't remember exactly how it started. I just remember they went high energy off the rip, Javon
Yeah,
and Leon. So I just knew the match wasn't gonna be as long as I thought it was gonna be.
before we get to the main event, before the main event, there was a segment, which you saw the segment before the main event, right? Before,
Yes.
yeah, great. So we'll talk about that. But before we get that, little critique, minor critique. This is just with Triple H's branding, unless it's a WrestleMania, 4 to 5 matches. Now here's the thing, I appreciate it because you don't want to have a 3 hour, 4 hour. Like I like AEW. That's my one critique with AEW pay per views. Too long. They have like 10 matches, and we're up at till like 3 a.m. And sometimes I fell asleep. And it's not because I'm bored. It's just that it's so long. I'm tired. Well, I remember one day I came from work, and we were gonna watch All In. It was All in Texas. I was fucking with the show, and I just got exhausted. You know, I missed Cody, not Cody. I missed Kenny versus Omega, with Okada. I missed Okada versus Omega, and I had to go back and watch it. Which I watched it like the match, but it was like stuff like that. And I almost fell asleep during Tony Storm versus Mercedes. And again, these are great matches. It's not the quality of matches, just so long. Like shows are so long. AEW pay per view is too long. Which I know Saturday Night Main Event is not pay per view, but even for normal PLEs, they're really short. For freaking this here for Saturday Main Event. This especially because this is a Saturday Main Event. John Cena's final match. John Cena said he wanted to showcase the future. I kind of wish there was at least 6 matches on the card, just to showcase more talent. You know what I mean? Because that's what he wanted. But the only talent who got showcased is Oba, Sol Ruka, who else? Leon Slater and Javon, and that's it. Like, not even the NXT Women's Champion got showcased. I'm not saying that JCJ needs it, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like you think there'd be like more people to showcase here, but we'll only get 4 matches. Um, with the 4th match being the main event. And then before the main event, we get the cool segment with the Miz coming out, and he's wearing the same gear he wore at WrestleMania 27. Yes, WrestleMania 27 when he main evented with John Cena. R-Truth comes out, doing his thing. He's dressed up like John Cena, Ron Cena, all that stuff, and then he's talking about balls and how Miz took someone's spot, and it's revealed to be Joe Hendry. And I don't know how you feel about that. That kind of pissed me off.
What made you upset about it?
It made me upset because they basically said, because the Miz got in the tournament twice, he lost both matches, and they basically told us that Joe Hendry was going to be the tournament. That's one of the people that people wanted in the tournament. So they basically just told us like, yeah, Miz stole his spot. And it's like, why would you? And then he just appears, say his name, and he appears, does the cool turn. Well, first he appears on the apron. They body Miz, does the cool turn with R-Truth, double five knuckle shuffle, the whole thing, hits him with a standing ovation. The crowd pops. It just because one of Joe Hendry's wishes was that he got to match with John Cena because he's a big John Cena guy, and I understand we don't always get what we want. So this is like a consolation prize. Was this worth it? I guess he's on John Cena's final show. I don't know how you feel about it. He got to be on the show.
I mean, hey, a lot of people didn't, so I would count it as a privilege.
Yeah. I just wish he got the match. This is supposed to be a thank you Cena stuff, so I don't want to overly critique everything. I want to be as positive as possible. But there's some things with this tour I just wish was better, especially because we only had 36 dates. It was.
Yep.
With 36 days, I kind of wish we got some better matches. I wish we got some different. I mean, the AJ Styles match was great. I like the Logan Paul match. Logan Paul outside of WWE, outside of the ring. I'm not gonna get into that. People have their opinions on him, but in WWE, in the ring, top class performer. The Randy Orton match was okay. The CM Punk match was really good, even though it ended with the wrong shenanigans. The Cody match was good. This is an unpopular opinion. I like Cody versus Cena at WrestleMania 40, was it 41? It's 41,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, 41. I like their match. I don't To be honest, the only thing I didn't like was just the Travis Scott shit, and then The Rock not coming out. But like I did enjoy their match. Um it was okay. I think it's overly hated. That's a personal take. I understand why a lot of people didn't like them. I just think a lot of people were just disappointed The Rock didn't show up. That's really it. More so the match itself. Like the match was all right. A lot of Cena's retirement tour, I just think could have been better, especially with such limited dates. A lot of it felt like it was unplanned. I think the biggest thing they shouldn't have done it was turn him heel. I know they didn't want to turn Cody heel, but they should have done face versus face, or Cody should have been the bad guy. Like heel Cena should have happened like 2013, 2011. I'm not 2011, 2012, 2012, 2013. That's far gone. This version of Cena, he just needed to be the ultimate hero. If we never got to see heel Cena, I would have been okay. I'm not gonna sit here and act like all of it was bad. There's some highlights in his heel run, but this wasn't the time for it. Um, But we get into the main event: Gunther versus John Cena. I know you only seen the highlights, but I think I'll let you take the floor first, AJ, and tell me your thoughts of the match, and break down the match itself from the highlights you've seen, and then I want your thoughts on the finish, because I have my thoughts. I wouldn't say this. My opinion has changed overnight. But I'll let you talk.
So, my opinion of the match, right? I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. I think it was a great match, but the wrong finish. You know what? I'm gonna say this. This is what I thought of Cody versus Roman in WrestleMania 39. Right? Great match, wrong finish. However, the difference between these situations is with Cody and Roman, right? That led into WrestleMania 40, which had to be one of the greatest endings to a WrestleMania I've ever seen in my life. Right?
Hmm?
The ending with Gunther and John Cena, with John Cena tapping out after all these years of not tapping out, this doesn't lead to anything else. This is it. And you're telling me the grand plan for John Cena's final match is for him to do the one thing he never does? I,
Um,
me
oh, sorry.
personally,
Go ahead.
I don't like that because
Uh,
it's like it's supposed to be a celebration of John Cena, who he is and what he's done for the business, and he ends it by doing the one thing he says he never does. That's how I feel about it. What do you think?
um, I want to say that I did agree with you. That's why my opinion changed over. Like at the moment in time, I did agree with you. I think Cena. Now I want to say this: if I was booking this personally, I would have Cena. I would do the opposite. Now normally it's wrestling's tradition to lose your last match and you pass the torch to somebody or you elevate someone when on your way out. That's the whole point. And that's good. And we've seen that happen for a lot of people's careers. A lot of people get boosted by defeating a legend. Um, my thing is, Gunther didn't need this. So, in my opinion, I would have the ultimate babyface ending, and I would do a swerve where Cena wins his last match. He overcame the odds. Superman, just like with Brock Lesnar, he overcame the odds. He finds a way to dig deep, and I did like how he kept escaping the sleeper hole. He finally escapes after so many attempts, and with all his strength with one last attempt, because Cena has hit Gunther with his best hits. He hit him with almost everything. With one final breath, one last AA, and I would have him beat Gunther. Now that's how I would do it. Now with what we did get in reality, with him tapping out, I I at first I really just say like disdain. I had disdain for that decision, but I think it was the right decision. As crazy as that sounds, I think Cena giving up, especially because the reason why I'm fine with Cena giving up now is because they're trying to make Gunther this big monster heel. He's gonna retire all our favorites because I'm telling you, AJ Styles is next. AJ Styles made a mistake saying he's going to retire in 2020. AJ Styles is next. Brock Lesnar's next. They're gonna do this whole thing where he just starts retiring legends. He's gonna be the new legend killer. On Monday night, he's gonna be bragging that he made Cena tap. He made Cena give up. He's gonna go crazy. If the goal is to elevate Gunther, him tapping out was the right decision. Now I will say this, even though I've come to be fine with the decision, I do have one thing to say. Now I'm only fine with it given where we're at. If you get what I'm saying, like what led to this situation. But what I'm thinking is, was giving Gunther this match even the right choice? Honestly, if we're gonna have Cena lose, I would have preferred he lost to somebody else. I would have preferred he lost to Carmelo Hayes, and the reason why is because Carmelo Hayes, besides LA Knight, it was LA, how many faces were in that match? I guess Jey Uso, but Jey Uso didn't need it. Who else? Like I feel like if Cena was going to lose, he should have lost to a babyface to take his mental. To be the new Super Cena, not a carbon copy. But I'm saying like the new hope of WWE. Um, but given that Gunther won the tournament and Gunther is in the match, Gunther's the big heel. Him beating Cena was the right choice. given if you understand what I'm saying, like given like where we're at. But in reality, I think it should have been somebody else. I don't know how you feel about Gunther being the last opponent, but I think it should have been someone else.
I do think Gunther was the wrong choice. I do believe there were better choices. Um, LA Knight. I would have preferred. You know what? I'd have preferred honestly just about anybody in that tournament besides Gunther.
Even if it's Jey Uso, I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but I still would. I would have taken Jay over Gunther. I'll tell you that
Ooh, that's a spicy take for sure.
because again, we're talking about it. See, here's my thing, right? I get it. Jay Uso's accomplished, right? But like, let's look at it just off this year alone. Who was more successful this year alone?
Uh, Gunther, sure.
That and that's why I think out of everybody in this tournament, he needed it the least.
That's true. But Triple H is going with the whole. He's gonna start burying legends. I don't want to say bury. Barry's crazy. He's gonna start retiring legends. Barry was extreme.
See, and retiring legends this way is a double edged sword, right? Because it's like, yeah, you're building Gunther up, right? And on top of that, you're making room for new stars to grow, right? But at the same time, you're killing the image of these legends. So, do you think that's a wise decision?
Oh, right now he's invested in Gunther stocks, so he would say. My issue is just like I don't know. Is there someone else could use this rub? Because here's the thing: it wouldn't even be hard. It wouldn't even be hard to build back Gunther after his loss. I mean, he won back the world title. He already retired Goldberg. He just could have came back and then he could have. There's other ways we could have built him without giving him Cena. This feels like. It feels like, and I'm not gonna take credit for saying this because a friend of ours said this the night, and he said it just feels like when Brock beat Undertaker. Feels the exact same way, and I'm like, wow. And he doesn't watch wrestling as often as us, but when he said that, it just put it in perspective to me. Like, yeah, this is what it feels like, because Brock didn't need the streak; it just gave it to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like for his last match, it could have been different, and honestly, could have been so much better. Just overall, and I'm not saying the match was bad. The match was great. I just feel like it could have been better.
It's just the finish, Like a lot of people say, an ending can't sully a story, which I halfway believe that, halfway, but sometimes the ending does muddy a lot of it, like how you reach the climax. But regardless of our thoughts, John Cena's a man of his word. This is really the last match John Cena will have, and I'm glad I got to see it live with you and all our friends. And even though the run didn't end in the way we want, still thank you, Cena. You are someone who put 23 years of your life into this passion, dedication, effort. You always listen to the crowd. You always force yourself to improve. Hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up. And even though Cena gave up for the last time, I will not give up. I won't give up on the channel. I won't give up on my endeavors. I won't give up on my friends. And you know, because of pro wrestling, that's one of the things that bonded me and my good friend AJ here. So, and that pro wrestling wouldn't be where it's at without John Cena.
Yeah, you know, it's really gonna suck because when we lose these guys, right? It kind of leaves a hole. But I don't think the hole will ever be as big as it was last night when John Cena walked out of that ring.
Our legends, our heroes usually get forgotten over time, and I I believe Cena feels that eventually he will be forgotten and people will move on, and it's inevitable. But I I hope he finds comfort in knowing that it won't happen for a very long time. I think 100, 150 years from now, people will still know the name John Cena.
Yeah, one of our friends actually asked me yesterday before the show started. He asked me. Do you think there'll ever be another John Cena? And I said not for a very long time, and I believe that.
Me too. And who knows who will witness him and or her, you know, because pro wrestling is evolving, women's wrestling is evolving. Women are putting out just as good, if not better, shows than the guys. So the next John Cena might not be a dude; it might be a chick. And then the John Cena is just the draw, the biggest draw in the company. Which some people say it's Cody, it's Roman, and those guys are great in their own. There's only one Cody, there's only one Roman. Those guys are in a league of their own. But John Cena's in the league, in my opinion, above those guys. And I think we will get a superstar as big as John Cena. It all happens in every industry. There's going to be a megastar. It's just that
Yep.
they haven't appeared yet.
They just have to. I don't know. We'll have to give it some time because they won't. They won't define this era. They'll define their era.
Yes,
So
sir.
we just have to give it time.
And I hope Cena's one of Cena's wishes is that whoever gets 18 times he'll be alive to congratulate him. I don't know who that will be. I hope I
I
hope
I personally don't think that'll ever happen. That's just me though. I don't ever think anybody's gonna hit 18. The only person I can see right now actively wrestling that can do that is Charlotte Flair. But that's because she's already at what 14, 15?
yep. Hey, I will say this. Um, I do hope that WWE, WWE is always seeking the next best thing, and they have it right in front of them. They just never capitalize on these stars. I hope they will take this as a moment to. Now, I'm not saying you can't use old stars, but Cena wouldn't be in the position he was if we kept relying on the past. Vince McMahon, he's very controversial figure. Um, done some heinous things. I'm not co-signing or supporting the man, but I will say this in terms of creative excellence. He took a chance on John Cena to get John Cena to where he is today. And that wouldn't have happened if he didn't think John Cena could cut it, if he didn't take a gamble on John Cena. I think WWE should take more gambles on people. Now, I know we have guys like Braun Breaker. Who else is a big one? Dominic Mysterio. Who else is a big one on the main roster? Is that it? That's the only
I'd
two
say
I'm thinking of.
I'd say Bronson Reed. I'd say um I don't know, just the guys coming up, the guys who are gonna take the spots of our heroes. You know what I
I
mean?
I I need WWE to push more of these guys to utilize them more. These guys have the tools to be great. Please do not squander these guys away. And that's the only thing I can ask for WWE. Like the future is now. We hear it a lot, but we need the future more than ever because like Cena's out the door. Brock is getting old. AJ said 2026 he wants out the door, but you never know. He could go longer. You never know, Gavin. But 2026 might be AJ Styles' last year, so he's out the door.
Rey Mysterio. He
Mysterio's
can't.
getting old.
Randy can't do this much longer. It's like that entire class of wrestlers. CM Punk, I know he might not be able to go much longer either. He's not
Yep.
that far behind. So
Freaking Cody's not a spring chicken. That's what make that be known. I don't know how long Cody has, but Cody soon might be up. Uh, Roman, Roman's getting up there. It's so crazy because I was watching some clips from Roman during the pandemic era and seeing him now. I was like, he looks so like young and fresh. He still looks good, great shape, but he looks older. You can look at his face. He looks older. He's aged. Like holy shit, he's getting old. Like a lot of our favorites are getting up there in age, and we need the future right now. We need a new ruthless aggression, a new attitude era. We don't need people to be you know aggressive and edgy and say crazy stuff, but we just need like that fire, that hunger, that passion. We need like young wrestlers come to take this thing. I want to see Braun Breaker become world champion. 3-time, 4-time world champion. Stuff like that. We need some shakeups. We need some unexpected storylines. We need some cool tag teams. We need all sorts of stuff. Like WWE has the tools to be great. I don't know what's stopping them from being great right now.
There's a 3-letter word that I think we know is stopping him right now, but we're not going to talk about that today.
Instead, we're gonna end off this video thanking the greatest of all time, the GOAT of all GOATs, the never seen 17, the last real champion. Thank you, John Cena.